All right, so my name is Diane Gra, and I am an IT one assistant here at the library. And I just want to thank you very much for coming to the Orland Park Public Library Zoom class this morning on Computers 101. This morning is just a basic course for computers. And I have a second class coming up within a week that you can join and get a little bit more information about computers. Today, our objectives are that you're going to learn the basic computer components, and you are going to learn about opening and closing programs using a mouse. You're also going to look at how we create folders and documents, just again, the basics. I'm not going to actually have you create, because when I originally created this class, it would have been an in-person class. But if at any time you want to go over any information that I have presented today, you can always make an appointment with one of us here at the library, and we can go ahead and show you some of that in person, again, by appointment here at the library during our regular library hours. So I want to show you some of the main components of the computer, and I'm hoping that this actually plays. So we have the main components of a computer and some of its accessories. So the first one that we have is actually the monitor. That's the thing that you're actually viewing the data coming from your computer. The next term that we have is our keyboard. And again, that's what we use to navigate. We type on our keyboard and we can do different functions off of our keyboard. We can even shut down our computer from our keyboard as well. The next thing that we have is our mouse, and that's again going to be your friend. Helps you navigate if you don't know the different keys, the function keys that you can use for the computer. Then we have our tower. And again, from our tower, we can turn on or off our computer. We can even put in a CD or a DVD in order to play as well. We can even put in flash drives or even just USB cables and things like that in order to hook up, let's say, our phone or our camera if we have photos that we want to download or other data that we want to put on our computer. The next thing that we have, again, some of the other accessories for the computer is going to be the USB drive and our D drives. Again, those are what you're going to see when you are hooking up different components to the computer. So those drives, and you might even have like an E drive or an F drive, depending on what it is that you put in your computer. Then we have our modem. Again, if you have internet access and it may look a little different than this, depending on whatever company you are getting your internet access from. So you're going to have a modem for internet. You're also going to have a thumb drive or a flash drive if you want to put data, let's say off-site, and you don't want to keep it on your laptop or your desktop computer. You can do that. You can take it then from computer to computer if you don't want to save things to the cloud. It's just an easy way to store data. And some of these can get quite large as far as gigabytes and how much data they can hold. But and sometimes they look a little different than this, but they always have a USB driver to it that you can plug it into any computer. And then again, a CD or a DVD, depending on how you want to store your data. So the first thing I want to share with you is going to be your friend, and that will be your mouse. And the mouse has different components to them. And again, with the buttons on there, if you have a laptop, sometimes you might have the mouse directly onto the keyboard itself. But you could also have a wireless mouse, or you can have one just like in this screen here. It has a wire attached that you plug it into your computer. Again, it does different things depending on how you click your mouse. If you have one that has a center scroll wheel, that allows you to move up and down on the page on your computer. Now, if you want to take a look at certain things on your computer, the most thing that you're going to do is always do a left click when you are doing it. And I apologize for moving that. I did not mean to move that forward. Sorry, but your left click is what allows you to open a file or even a program on your computer. You can do a single click if you want to. It just depends on how you want to set up your computer. And you can do this through the settings on your computer. You can have it click twice in order to open up something, or you can even have it just do a single click if you want to. You can also then on the right side, you can also open up different menus when you're on your screen itself, and then it will allow you to do that. If we were in person, I'd have you practice this. Unfortunately, I cannot have us do that, but I can show it to you what it would look like if we were to do that. So I'm going to stop sharing this part of my screen. I'll come back to this and I will just show you or kind of share with you what I'm doing as I'm opening up something. So right now, in order for myself to move from screen to screen on this computer, on our Zoom, I am using my left click. I'm just moving my finger around on my screen in order to open up programs. If I do a left click, again, that opens it up, and then I'm able to move from slide to slide. So on this slide here, I like putting it in cartoons sometimes in order to kind of give it a little humor. So our cartoon in the upper left says, and to make things worse, I don't get on well with my computer either. And so you see a man sitting with a psychiatrist, and he is just not doing very well. I don't want you to feel that you are frustrated by computers. Sometimes people have come into the library and they are frustrated by technology. This class and others that we have done here at the library are meant to help put you at ease, if you will, when you are on computers. But if for any reason you feel that something is going wrong and you are just having a hard time, feel free to always call us here at the library and we can help you out. Now, one of the best things you can do for your computer, whether it's your laptop or even your desktop computer, is to know how to start and even shut down your computer properly. The best thing that you can do for your computer, if you want to, is you can have it go to sleep. It allow you to, again, have any updates that you will need for your computer, whether you're getting that through Microsoft or either through Apple if you have a Mac. And again, sometimes having it go to sleep like that will allow updates to still come through depending on the settings of your computer. But if you do not need those updates, it is best to shut down and even start your computer in the proper way. Now you'll see in the lower photograph here on the left, the computer button. And again, this button, if you press that in order to start your computer, that is the best way to start. Once your computer is open and you have used that for a while, you will see then a screen like the one in the center. Now you'll see in the lower portion of that screen here, of that screenshot, it looks like a window. Now that window on your computer is always in the lower left side of your computer. Now, if you press that, then this menu pops up on your screen, and you'll see the upper one has like a person. It kind of looks like the outline. Then you've got your settings button in the center, and then the lower one. It's a circle with a line going through the top of it. Now that is your shutdown button. Now, when you press that, it will actually tell you if you want to restart your computer, if you want your computer to go to sleep, or if you want your computer to shut down. So again, if you're going to just walk away for a little while, you can go ahead and you can have your computer go to sleep. And then when you come back on, you can, again, just tap that start button and it will then bring up the screen, and then you may have to log in using your password or however it is that you have it set up. I do recommend having a password to open up your account on your computer, especially if you have more than one person at home and they want to log in onto their own username. It's best that each user has their own password saved on the computer, and you can use that then to log in each time. So again, if you are going to shut down your computer, that is best that when you go to that window, like I said, that icon is on the lower left of your computer screen. You'll get on that, and then you're going to use you're going to press the button It's the icon with the circle and then the straight line going through the top part of it that will then shut down your computer if you choose that choice. And again, then just start it back up. You will then use that start button. You just press it. And then again, your icon should come up in order for you then to log back in. If you want to just switch users, then you can do that. That is what the icon at the top, it kind of looks like a little person. You press that icon and you are able then to lock out of your screen. And then you can also switch a user from there too. Or you can just log off of your username and then another person can get back on if you don't have plans to get that. So those are just a couple of the things that I wanted to share with you on that screen as well. So now that we have turned off our computer and turned it back on, now we are going to move forward. Again, as I just mentioned, you can be able to switch between users, especially in Windows 10 that we'll be talking about in a few minutes. This is a great way for us, again, if we have multiple people at home using the same device, it's a great way for us to keep our own data safe from someone else. And so again, it's best that each person has their own icon and their own password to log in, and you can easily do that. And I just kind of shared with you how that would work. Now, if we are on our computer screen, and again, from our start menu, you are able to click on your computer and you can go anywhere you want to, whether it is that you want to start up, let's say a Word document. I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. If you want to do that, or you want to start a calendar and keep that on your computer. I'm going to go over a couple of things with you today. And then if you join me next week, Saturday, again at 11, I'll be happy to go over that with you for Computers 201. I've got a lot more information and that I'll be able to share with you to go further on with our computer classes. But this screen is great. Again, you'll be able to access this through that window icon in the lower left. You just click on that and then this menu comes up and you are able then to navigate through your different programs that you have on your computer. You can access your email through here. You can access notes if you want to. Maybe you're great at making lists and you want to keep things in one location. OneNote is great for that. You are able then to, again, play media through your computer. And again, you can access that through this as well. You can even then enter into the internet also through this by just going to that application. So your start screen is going to be the best location for you to access anything on your computer. Now I had this on there, and again, this would have been good if we were in person. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you how we would open and close a document, or even how we would go ahead and print a document, or even then share a document. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And I am going to share with you now my laptop. If I didn't do that one right. Hold on one second. All right, now I got that going. Let me try that one again. So this is our blank screen on our computer. And from here, I can go anywhere I want to, but I'm going to share with you how I would use my mouse in order to open up a document. So what I can do is I can just move my icon, and you can see that I have a little arrow, and that will point me in the right direction. If I go and I have maybe on my desktop a shortcut for Word, I can go ahead and I can move my mouse over to that icon, and I can left click on that twice in order to open it up, and I can bring up Word if I wanted to. If I wanted to go in a different route, I'm going to show you then. I will go into that lower left corner of my computer screen where my window looks, my icon is here, and it says start as I drag my mouse over to it. If I click on that with my left click, I can also just search here because Word does not pop up quite readily here. I'm just going to type in Word and it will then pop up into my menu screen, and then I can just hit enter there and then it will bring it up. Now when it brings it up, what it's going to do is I can choose to create a blank document. Now I did give a class on Microsoft Word, so today I'm not going to give everything on there. I'm just going to show you that if we were able to create a document, then I'm going to show you how we would go ahead and save that document, as well as if we wanted to print from here and then even share it. So I'm going to choose to just create a blank document, but I could have chosen a template. I can choose whatever. And again, I'm using my left click on my mouse in order to open this up. Now, if I go ahead and I just like type a few things and let's say I'm done with it. Well, if I want to save what I've typed, I'm going to go up into the upper left-hand corner of my document, and it says file, and I'm going to left click on the file and I'm going to bring up a menu. Now first, if this is the first time that I am saving my document, I am going to go to save as. So I'm just going to scroll down to save as, and I'm going to left click on that. And now it's going to bring up a menu of choices that's going to ask me where I want to save my document. So I like to save things to my desktop, and then I like to kind of create folders later on and then put my documents in there just to kind of better organize myself on my computer desktop. So for the first thing I'm going to do, because I don't really have this is just for a class, I don't really know where I want to put this. I'm just going to choose then to put it into my desktop. So I'm just going to take my mouse and I'm going to scroll over and I'm going to left click and then just one time. Now it'll bring up this menu, and I'm going to now put a file name to this. So I can just put, you know, class example computer 101. So you give it a name. You want to make sure that whatever you are saving, whether it's a Word file or that you have the exact type of file that you want to save. And it will give you different choices. If you scroll over and you give yourself a left click, it will now bring up this drop down menu. And you can now choose to put this any way you want to. Maybe you want to make this a PDF. That way it can be shared, but no one else then can edit it. You can do that, or you can just keep it as a Word document because it is a Word document. So we can choose that. So you want to make sure that your file is the correct type that you want to save it as. I'll just leave it as a Word document, and then I'm going to scroll down and I'm just going to left click and hit save. So now it's on my computer and I can make changes to this at any time. Now, if I want to close out of this, I can have it in two ways. I can go into my upper right and I can scroll over to the X, and I can use my mouse and I can exit out of this, or I can go ahead and if I scroll over to file again, I can then left click on that and bring it up, and I can also just choose that option from close. So there are two ways that I can open or close my my documents. So this way is close. I'll just click on this, and again, it closes my document. Now that one is gone, but my Word is not gone. So if I had gone into the upper right and clicked on that X, now it's completely gone from that screen. Now let's say I had something on here, and let's say I didn't like it and I wanted to take it to the trash. I can do that too, and I'll show you that in a minute after I show you how we would go ahead and if we wanted to, let's say, share it or keep it or even print from here. Now let's say our document's already up here, and let's say I want to print from here. I'm going to go up into file and I'm going to hit my left click button on my mouse, and I'm going to bring down the print option. So then I will left click on that and I will open that up. Now it gives me some choices. It tells me how I want to go ahead and print from here. Now you'll have a printer already loaded when you have your computer set up. So make sure that your printer is, is already set up. Maybe it's a wireless one. You can already have a couple of choices. You can have more than one printer if you wanted to, but if you want to change that, again, you can do that. Just make sure whatever printer you have is chosen, and then you can go ahead and look at the different settings. You can print all the pages if you want to, or you can just choose a couple of pages that you want. You can just choose these options. Once you've chosen the settings, even the direction of how your print is going to come out, whether it's going to be a portrait, or maybe it's going to be a horizontal, like a landscape, you can choose that as well. Again, the size of the document, maybe it's going to be a legal size or a letter size. You can choose all that, and then you would just click on print. And then it will go ahead and send that right to the printer. Now, let's say you wanted to share this for to someone else. You can go ahead also and go into File, and you can go to the Share option now. Left click on that, and again, you're able to save this to a couple different ways. You can either share this with people through the cloud, which it allows you then to access it anywhere on any other computer. Or you can share it with people through email, and then it'll just pop up as an attachment, and I'll show you that right now. So if we click on email, and then I'm using my left click on my mouse, and I'm going over now into send as attachment, or I can even send it as a PDF. I can do that. I can save it also as an XPS. It's a file, again, that maybe some computers can open up, some might not, just depending on the versions that they have. I either choose to send as an attachment or as a PDF. So if we click on that, again, that's a left click, we'll be able to open that up. And then again, a menu will pop up for the mail if it is, again, also on your computer. Now on this one, I do not have Outlook already readily installed on this laptop that I'm using today. This is not my personal laptop, but if it was, that screen would pop up next, and then you can go ahead as if you were typing up a regular email. So I'm just going to cancel this for right now. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to close this up, and then I'm going to show you how I would send this now to the trash, because let's say I just didn't want to keep this document anymore. I got too many documents on my computer. I'm trying to eliminate some of that data, and it's just really a document I don't want to really use anymore or keep around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my computer cursor over to that document. Now if I take my mouse and I hold on the left side of my mouse, I'm going to then now move it. I'm just going to scroll it, and I have on my computer a trash bin or a recycle bin. I'm just going to move my document right over to that, and now I've got this choice of moving it to the recycle bin, and I'm just going to now release that left click on my mouse, and now it's going to put that now into my trash bin or my recycle bin. Now I can see what I have in that recycle bin just by, again, moving my mouse over there, and I'm going to double click in order to open that up. So now you can see that in the choice that comes up, this menu, now you can see that I have put that document into the trash. It's not completely gone. So some people think that after they've moved things to the trash bin, it's gone from their computer. But in this case, it's really not. There's another step that we can do with this. So I can either, one of two ways, I can go ahead and I can do a right click on here after I've moved my mouse, my cursor over to that document. It's kind of highlighted a little bit. I'm going to now right click on there, and now it brings me up another menu of choices, and I can now move down to delete if I wanted to. So that's one way that I could do that from here. The other thing that I can do is I can go up here and I have a couple of different choices. There's home here if I wanted to share. I mean, I'm not going to do all this because I don't really want to keep it. So that's not really something that I want to do. But if I choose the recycle bin tools option on that ribbon on the top of the menu here, I now have choices that says empty recycle bin. So I can choose to do that. If I wanted to restore all the documents that I had on there, maybe I made a mistake and I accidentally put it in the trash can and I didn't mean to put it in the trash can. I can actually restore all the items and put them back onto my desktop so that I have it there. I'll show you that for right now, and then we'll go back in here and then I will empty out that recycle bin just so that you can see. So this one now says restore all the contents of the recycle bin. So I'm going to click on that. It says, are you sure you want to restore all the items from the recycle bin? I'm going to click on yes. And again, I'm using my left click on my mouse to do that. So I'm going to do that. And now look, it has come back on to my desktop right where I had it before. So now I'm going to show you how I would empty out that recycle bin completely. Again, I'm going to move my mouse, my cursor right over to that document. I'm going to hold down that left click button and I'm going to move my cursor now and drag that document now over to the recycle bin. And I'm going to put it now in my recycle bin. I'm going to open up that recycle bin and you'll see that it's right here, but it's not completely gone from my computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my recycle bin tools and I'm going to now click on the empty recycle bin. Again, that's a left click on there and I'm going to do that. Now it's going to say delete file. Are you sure you want to permanently delete this file? I do. I don't need to keep that. So I'm now going to move my cursor over to where it says yes, and I'm going to left click on that and now it is gone. And it now says this folder is empty. Pretty simple, huh? And it's good to actually take a look at sometimes, you know, every now and then periodically what documents you have. Again, if you go and completely delete all those, put them in your recycle bin, you can do that. And again, it just then reduces some of the data that you have on your computer, and again makes memory a little bit easier to manage when you have that on your computer. So it's always a good idea to get rid of things that you don't necessarily need because they take up the memory on your computer. And so again, if you want to free that up for other applications later on, it's a good idea to just periodically kind of go through some of those that you have on there, or even take away applications. It works the same way for applications as well. You can always take some of those and put them into a recycle bin and then or uninstall those if you will, and then just get rid of those completely from your computer. I am now going to go ahead. I'll stop sharing my screen here for this. And I'm going to bring up another slide that we're going to be able to just kind of navigate now the Windows 10 basics. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to bring up those slides that I have for Windows 10. Okay, now so here is my slide. I'm just going to move it forward where we were at before we left off. And now I'm going to bring it up for Windows 10 basics. That's the other component for this class today, is to share with you a little bit more information about Windows 10. Now you might have an older computer. You might be operating on a Windows 7 or even a Windows 8 computer, but you don't have to have Windows 10 already on your computer in order to upgrade your computer. I'm going to share with you today a little bit of information about that operating system, and then if you want to go ahead and upgrade, you can do that. I'll share with you how you can even do that for free on your computer. Now, if you have a Mac, again, if I was in person with you, I'd ask that you come and see me after class. If you have a Mac and you have questions about that, you can feel free to call us up at any time and we can go ahead and share with you some of that information. Again, a Mac versus, Windows operating system, it's a little different. The icons look a little different. But again, in the end, they all kind of do the same thing where we're able then to navigate, open up documents, create things on our computer. Now, Windows 10 is what is currently supported by Microsoft today. They are no longer supporting the Windows 7 or the Windows 8 or even an 8.1 Pro. And so now they were asking people to upgrade. You can either choose to purchase that through Microsoft, or like I said, I'm going to show you in a little bit how you can do that for free from their own website. Now, what's great about Windows 10 is that it helps, again, with all the different platforms from like that Windows 7 or that, Windows 8. You're able to bring together all the different platforms, all the things that you're able to use. You've got Word on your computer, or you have Excel maybe for different spreadsheets. You're able to have that still on your computer. That doesn't change the things that you were able to do before. What it does allow you, though, to do is it allows you to now sync everything or communicate with all your devices at the same time. So let's say you have a smartphone and you have data on there, you're able to take that data, sync it up now with your laptop or even your desktop computer. It's a way that you can have your data being shared with all of your devices. There are different icons that you might see. Some of them have just been upgraded from, like I said, the Windows 7 or 8 to now Windows 10, but the icons still do the same thing. You're still able to navigate the internet, whether it is you want to use Firefox or Google Chrome or even Edge. Now, we don't use the navigational one very often, just because that's not used so often. It's for us better that we use Firefox or even Google Chrome for doing our navigations, but there are a couple other website browsers that you're able to use as well. You're also able to have your media player. You can still access iTunes, or you can access, if you want to, YouTube. You can go to Spotify if you're interested in that as well. You're also able to get onto Maps and keep your calendar. Everything is still here, just upgraded with Windows 10. So now, if you have a brand new computer, I wanted to share these slides with you because, again, it will allow you to have access to setting up your computer. Through Windows 10, there's a new system. You've probably heard of like Alexa, when you're out there and you've got your Google Home or your Echo and things like that. Well, for Windows 10, they have a woman who, it's a voice, you can kind of change it over, and her name is Cortana, and she can help you set things up on your computer. When you're doing that, you'll end up with a start menu that will have all your programs listed on there as well after you have your setup on your computer. Now you're able to, through Windows 10, have a 2-panel side by side, and you'll see that in the menu that you have in the photograph here on the left. It's got a panel that comes up with the different choices, but then you also see the icons right there. So you can either choose to click on, the name of the application you want to open up, or you can just go right to that icon if you have that already set up on your computer menu, and you can just click on that, and again, it will open up your application right from there. So that's kind of a new thing with Windows 10. The other thing that you can do is, again, you're able to expand that, make that full screen, so you're able to blow that up bigger instead of just having the words smaller. And again, you're able to access anything that you used to access. You're able to access the internet and all of your apps. You're able to access your email. You're able to go on to Facebook. You're able to play games if you want to on your computer, have documents set up on your computer, and even store your data. That has not changed for Windows 10. It's just, again, upgraded. Like I just mentioned, Cortana is one that will help you set up your new computer. For Windows 10, it is voice controlled. So again, you can talk right to it, and it will help you with that. You can also just listen to the prompts that are given by Cortana, and it helps you to make it a little easier on yourself when you are operating a new computer system, whether it's a desktop or even a laptop. And again, you're not searching for how to open this or how to install that. Again, it's prompt and again, voice driven that way. You're able also to search your hard drive for specific folders and files. Again, right through Cortana, you can leave her on, and again, she can help you at any time you need help on your computer. Cortana is able to also send emails while you're working, maybe on a different application, whether it's a spreadsheet or again, or a Word document, and it's making multitasking, they say, a little easier, which is something that you weren't able to do before with a Windows 7 or Windows 8 application. Now you are also able to, again, have alerts sent to your computer. Again, if you have things, maybe, a new update that's there, or maybe you have a security breach or something like that on your computer. Again, it will send your notification right to your computer, but it will also now, because you're having it synced with all of your other devices, you can have that alert or notification sent to your smartphone. And again, it will be able to access that anywhere. So that is something, again, new with Windows 10, because you're able then to have all your devices synced up together. So I want to kind of share with you a couple of tips and tricks with Windows 10. The first one is to minimize all windows except for the active one. I found this one quite fun, actually. So I'm going to just share it with you, and then I'll stop my screen. I'm gonna share with you what that looks like. So again, if you have multiple projects open, let's say you're working on a Word document, and then you also have a spreadsheet open on your computer, you can quickly minimize all them at the same time, and just keep the one that you want to have open and working on right there. Now you can do that by minimizing each one, or you can do that all at the same time. If you were to do that all at the same time, this is how you do it. You take your mouse and you're going to move your mouse over to the window that you want to keep open. And you are then going to kind of shake it back and forth, kind of quickly, kind of just shaking it. And after a couple of shakes, then the other windows, they just automatically minimize. And they just leave the one that you were working on, the one that you just shook, open on your computer. So I'm going to share that with you right now. I'm going to see how that would work. I haven't actually practiced that through Zoom, but I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can't get that open for you. Hold on one second. See if that will work. It's not what I wanted to do. Hold on one second. All right, so let's say I have a couple of things open on my computer. I'm just going to open up a couple of them just so I can show them to you. All right, so now I've got a couple of things open on my computer. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you just so that you can kind of go ahead and see how I actually do that. One second. All right, now that I have all that, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see. All right, so now on my computer screen, I have two different documents. I've got a Word document that I put up, and then I even have a publisher. So if I want to get rid of, let's say, the publisher, I'm going to now move. I'm going to put my cursor in the upper just portion of my computer. And I'm going to just now have my hold down the left click button, and then I'm just going to shake it. And now you saw when I shook it, now that publisher was minimized. So that's how you do that if you want to minimize it. The other way that you can do that is, again, by going into the upper left portion of your document. I'm sorry, the upper right. And then if I move my cursor over to the minimize button, it's just like a little dash, then I can just left click on that. And again, that will minimize that. But now with Windows 10, we're able now to, again, minimize more documents at the same time. Just again, by holding on that left click button and then kind of shaking it so that it just drops everything down. Now, the next thing that we can do.
Diane, she lost your picture. She can hear you.
Then the next thing we can do is, I'm just going to bring it up. Let me see what I've got on here. Hold on one second. I do apologize for that. I'm hoping that you're all able to see me. I'm going to share my screen again just so that you can see the rest of my slides that I have on here. All right, so again, I'm just going to bring up a couple of other tips and tricks. The next thing that we would do is we could open up our secret start menu. Again, I showed you earlier on how we would open up our computer, but if you want to, there are different function keys that are able to be utilized on our keyboard from our laptop or even our desktop. So from our keyboard, if we wanted to open up a secret start menu, rather than just going to the lower left portion of our screen and just clicking on that Windows key, I can also take my Windows key. It's a key that's on the keyboard just below the Z key, and you can press that, but plus at the same time, you're going to press the X button on there. Now that at the same time, if you click them together, it will open up a Windows icon or the start button. If I do that so you can see, let me bring that up for you really quickly. Now I have my screen here. I'm going to just share my screen just so that you see. If I wanted to, I'm going to press that Windows key and the X at the same time. And now you see in the lower left of my screen, now I have a menu and I can choose from here what I want to do. Maybe I want to shut down or sign out of my computer, or maybe I want to choose to do different things. Maybe I want to choose my task manager, my settings, and change that or do that. I'm able to do that from there. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen on here, and I'm going to be able to, again, open that up for you.
Everything is okay, Diane. Never mind.
So I'm able to now, for my tips and tricks, I'm going to, again, share with you some more of my slides. Just so that, again, now you can see a couple of things that we have left. Those shortcut keys are really great. Again, you can keep tabs on different things rather than just moving it for this one. If you have those shortcuts, it's great for you then to navigate much more easily between applications and programs on your computer. The last one I want to share with you, again, you might know how to start and stop a program by using Control, Alt, and Delete and pressing those at the same time. If you do that, then your taskbar comes up and it will allow you to close or minimize windows. It will either have you stop a program from running if you want to. That's a good way for you also to get out if your program has frozen at any time. The Control, Alt, Delete keys will allow you to, again, get out of any program that is giving you trouble so that you can restart that taskbar. again, the other thing is if you have that Windows key and then up at the top where you have your numbers, those are function numbers, you know, F1, F2, those allow you to do different things on your computer. So again, the Windows key plus any number key will open up a window within your taskbar. And so that's, again, something else that you might do. If you do that in the right way, any of those icons that you'll see at the lower portion of your screen, it will just have you open up each one of those in order. I'm going to show you that right now, what that looks like. Hold on one second. Again, I'll just share my screen with you just so that we can see it. All right, so if I minimize that. All right, now I'm going to just go ahead and share my screen with you real quickly, just so again you can see. So now I'm on my main page. If I hold down that Windows, and you see that I have different things at the bottom. I've got an icon where I can go into Microsoft Edge. I can go online. I've got a folder here that, again, I keep all my documents in, depending on where they're located. I can go into the application store and I can pull up a program. All these things in the bottom of my screen. If I hold down my Windows and then I just choose one of the number keys, let's say the third one on here is the Play Store. So if I chose that one, I would open that up. So the window and 3 allows me then to open that up. If I chose the window and 2, now I've got things coming up in that order. So that's kind of what that means, is if you want to open them up rather than just moving your mouse over and clicking on that, that's how you would do that. So I'm going to close those right now because I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you one last time, and I'm going to just finish off of our slides. So those are just some of the tips and tricks that I've learned when I've been navigating through Windows 10. If you want to upgrade your Windows 10, if let's say you have a current version like a Windows 7 or a Windows 8, again, you can go and you can purchase Windows right from Microsoft. Right now, it's currently about $139 directly from their site. But if you don't want to do that, and you, like I said, currently have one of those other Windows operating systems, you can go right to Microsoft.com. And from there, and I've just kind of put a couple of the things that we have on here, and then I'll go ahead and share my screen with you just so you can see that. You can go to Microsoft.com, and then you can do through the search tool, we're going to put in Windows 10 free update. And then a menu is going to come up, and we're going to choose to update it now. And then you just follow the prompts on your computer. Now, if for any reason your computer is older and will not support that, it may be time for you to have to get a new computer for that, or it just won't let you install that new update on your computer. But as you choose that update now, it will go through your system and see whether or not your system would actually hold that update. And then when the upgrade is complete, you can go ahead, you can go into the settings in the update, and you're going to end up getting a security activation code. Now that happens when you're first starting off and setting up your computer. There's always going to be an activation code, but because now you're updating from one operating system to the other, you'll need that code in case something ever happens. But before you do any of this, it's always best to back up any of your data that you currently have on your computer. And again, it's best to do that because you don't want to lose anything through an update. And so again, before you do that on any of this, always back up your data. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this, and then I'm just going to show you again through Microsoft what that looks like. Again, just some of those takeaways. You're able to keep your computer files and your folders organized through Windows 10. You're able to navigate more quickly and easily when trying to find something stored on your computer. And again, those come from those function keys, as I explained to you earlier. Always make sure your computer is plugged in to a surge protector is always a good thing to have with your computer, again, because if you ever have a power outage, it's not going to fry your computer. So always have that plugged into a surge protector, and that will keep you from losing files and data during that power outage. Again, keeping your computer turned off when not in use allows for periodic updates. That sleep mode is a good idea when the computer is not in use for a short period of time, or if you are switching users. And then you can keep your security, your malware software. You should always keep that up to date. And then make sure that from your computer that, again, it's not put in direct sunlight. You don't want to overheat your computer. You want to keep everything clean, periodically. You know, keep it from dust. You can always get one of those spray cans of spray air, and you can always kind of go through that with your keyboard or even your mouse. Always back up your computer files, do that periodic basis. You can do this through your settings also, and just kind of click on a time when, you know, your computer isn't running or in use, maybe overnight. And then it will also back up your data. That way it'll keep you from losing any files. And again, making sure that you have security software on your computer is always a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm just going to show you that Microsoft really quickly, just so you can see where you would go ahead and you would do that update. So if we went into Microsoft through our web browser and we go into Microsoft.com, you can see in the upper right here, it says a search tool. And if I click on that search tool, again, I would just click on there, Windows 10 update, you know, for free or whatever. Now, I could do that right from the computer, but this is an easy way for it. It just says then download Windows 10. You can just click on that. And again, then this screen pops up. When it says update now, that's the one that you're going to click on to update. And then that's from there will allow you to now check your computer to make sure that you are compatible with that update. I'm not going to do that on here because I already currently have that. I want to show you one last slide just to again show you some of the upcoming classes that we have here at the library. And again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to stop by the IT department here on the second floor of the library during our regular library hours. I do have slides and handouts available for you that you can always pick up if at any time you have questions about what we have presented today. You can always give us a call too at 708-428-5171, and one of us at the desk will be happy to help you out as well. Now we do have a couple of upcoming classes. We have on Monday, January 18th at 7 p.m. Is cloud storage right for me? The next class for this in this series will be Computers 201. Again, that will be next Saturday on the 23rd at 11 a.m. And then we have on the 25th, the Intro to Selling on eBay. And then we have two more in February. We have All Things Google on February 15th at 7 p.m. And we have Bitcoin and Beyond on February 23rd at 7 p.m. All of our classes currently are on Zoom, and you can find the links by going to our website and clicking on our calendar of events. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. You can just put them in the chat and I will try and answer those. If you do not have any current questions, I just want to thank you so much for your time and again for bearing with me through some of our tech issues today. Again, this will also be featured on YouTube under the Orland Park Public Library's subscription site, and you can click on our videos there as well, and you can review this as well. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or stop on by. Thank you so much. I enjoyed being with you today, and thank you for your time. Have a great one.